Jeff Bezos took one look at the auto industry and said, "What we're all thinking, this entire market is ripe for disruption." Imagine a boardroom where executives point at the $50,000 price tags on electric trucks and declare, "This is absurd. We can cut this in half." That's exactly what's happening. Amazon's backing has created a $20,000 electric truck that will make Tesla, Ford, and GM executives lose sleep tonight. This isn't a concept. This isn't a promise. The Slate truck you're looking at right now costs less than half of what Elon wants for his Cybertruck. And watch this. It transforms from a pickup to an SUV in minutes. The auto industry doesn't want you to see this video because once you do, you'll never look at their overpriced vehicles the same way again. They've been taking your money for years, and someone's finally about to slash their entire business model. Let's analyze the auto market with ruthless efficiency. The average new car costs over $48,000. The average American makes $55,000 a year. This math doesn't work. It's predatory. Pull up the slides of electric truck prices. Ford's F-150 Lightning, $60,000. Rivian, $70,000. Tesla Cybertruck, $80,000. They're building electric vehicles only the top 10% of Americans can afford, then patting themselves on the back for saving the planet. What about the other 90%? The question nobody's asking: why are manufacturers adding heated cup holders, 20-inch touchscreens, and ambient lighting that changes to 64 different colors, then charging an extra $15,000 for the privilege? They've convinced consumers they need these features. They don't. Walk into any dealership today and you won't see cars. You'll see inefficient distribution models. You'll see vehicles designed to extract maximum profit, not to serve actual needs. The average car today has more computing power than the rockets that took us to the moon, an engineer would tell you. Do you really need that to drive to work? Here's what dealers won't tell you. Every single luxury feature they add is another point of failure, another repair bill waiting to happen. The average new car has over 100 microprocessors. 100. When those fail, and they will, you're looking at thousands in repair costs that weren't necessary in the first place. Amazon was built on a simple principle: remove unnecessary costs, pass the savings to customers. In automotive strategy meetings, the question should be, why isn't anyone doing this with cars? Because the entire industry is built on convincing consumers they need more than they do. Think about the first trucks on American roads, simple, reliable vehicles that cost about $8,000 in today's money. Manual windows, no touchscreen, and they got people exactly where they needed to go. Those vehicles would be impossible to find today because automakers have systematically eliminated affordable options from the market. This isn't just a pricing problem, it's a class problem, an accessibility problem, the kind of market inefficiency that creates opportunities for disruption. The electric revolution shouldn't be just for the wealthy, it should be for everyone. That's why someone finally decided to do something about it. Enter Slate Auto, a company that's about to turn the entire automotive industry upside down. With Amazon's backing, they're not just creating a new vehicle, they're bringing e-commerce efficiency to car manufacturing. While Elon was busy adding fart sounds to Teslas and Ford was figuring out how to charge you $2,000 for a technology package. That's really just software. Slate was asking the hard questions.
But a new, very different kind of EV startup is changing all that with an EV pickup truck that costs under $20,000 after federal incentives.
What can we strip away? What's driving up costs unnecessarily? In their product development meetings, they pointed at features one by one. Power windows, unnecessary. Touchscreens, people already have smartphones, leather seats, ambient lighting, automatic climate control, powered tailgates, cut them all. The dirty secret of the auto industry is that these features cost pennies to make but thousands to buy. They're pure profit machines disguised as luxury. The Slate truck has none of that excess. None. Opposite. The philosophy is brutally simple. Manual windows? Yes. And they'll never break. No touchscreen? Correct. Just a mount for the smartphone you already own. No fancy paint options? Just one color, because paint shops cost manufacturers $350 million to build. And guess who pays for that? You do? In boardrooms across Detroit, Auto executives are panicking because their game has been exposed. Most of what you're paying for in modern vehicles is marketing, unnecessary technology, and planned obsolescence designed to make you buy a new vehicle every few years. Slate built their truck on what they call the Slate board chassis, a revolutionary hybrid between unibody and body-on-frame construction. While other manufacturers were busy adding weight with features you don't need, Slate engineers were figuring out how to make a truck lighter, stronger, and fundamentally cheaper to produce. The cost analysis is eye-opening. Here's exactly how they achieved this $20,000 price point. 1. No paint shop. Saved $350 million in manufacturing costs. 2. No infotainment system. Saved $2,000 per vehicle. 3. Manual windows. Saved $800 per vehicle. 4. Simplified manufacturing. One base model. All customization happens after 5. Direct-to-consumer sales. No dealership markup. The auto industry has convinced you that these sacrifices would make a vehicle unusable. That's a lie. They're terrified of what happens when consumers realize they've been overpaying by tens of thousands of dollars for decades. And here's what really keeps auto executives up at night: Amazon's supply chain entering their industry. While traditional automakers are paying 30% markups to parts suppliers, Slate is leveraging Amazon's global supply network to source components at costs they can only dream of. Look at a typical vehicle invoice: dealer markups that add $5,000 to $10,000 to popular vehicles. Gone. Destination fees that magically add $1,500 to the price. Gone. Documentation fees that somehow cost $699. All gone. This isn't just a cheaper truck. This is the same disruption that transformed books, retail, and cloud computing, now coming for cars. The automotive industry has been robbing consumers blind, and once you see what Slate has built, the game is over. Let's get into the specifics of what makes the Slate truck revolutionary beyond just its price. This isn't some underpowered golf cart with a bed. This is a legitimate truck engineered to meet real-world needs. The Slate truck delivers 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque through its rear-wheel drive setup. That's more power than the original Ford F-150 Lightning from the 1990s that people still rave about today. It'll hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 8 seconds. Not record-breaking, but more than adequate for merging onto highways and everyday driving. Top speed is capped at 90 miles per hour, which is all you legally need anyway. Traditional automakers would have you believe you need 400-plus horsepower and sub-5-second acceleration times for a real truck. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually needed that? They're selling you race car performance for commuting to Costco. It's absurd, and they know it. The battery options are straightforward. Choose between a 52.7 kilowatt-hour pack, offering 150 miles of range, or an 84.3 kilowatt-hour pack, extending up to 240 miles. Both support fast charging from 20% to 100% in under 30 minutes. No gimmicks, no exaggerations, just honest numbers. But 150 miles isn't enough range, the critics will cry. Really? The average American drives 37 miles per day. Even the base model Slate truck gives you 4 days of driving before needing a charge. For the 95% of Americans who don't regularly drive cross-country, this is more than sufficient. What about safety? Despite its minimalist approach, the Slate truck doesn't compromise where it matters. It includes up to 8 airbags, forward collision warning, and automatic emergency braking as standard. These are the safety features that actually save lives, not the lane-keeping assist and adaptive cruise control that add thousands to the price tag while giving you a false sense of security. The truck bed is 5.5 feet long, the same as many short bed options on full-size trucks that cost 3 times as much. It's rated to carry 1,500 pounds, which covers 99% of what typical truck owners actually haul. Be honest, when was the last time you needed to carry more than that? Production is set to begin in late 2026 at a facility in the Midwest, creating American jobs and shortening supply chains. By 2027 to 2028, Slate plans to produce 150,000 trucks annually. That's not just ambitious, it's a direct challenge to established manufacturers. Now, Let's address what's missing, because the auto industry will try to scare you with what the Slate truck doesn't have: no power windows. So, what? Manual windows never fail, never need motor replacements, and work even when your battery is dead. No built-in navigation system. You already have a better one on your phone that updates automatically. No leather seats. Instead, you get durable, washable materials that will outlast leather and don't require animal hides. No power tailgate. Instead of waiting 10 seconds for a motor to lower your tailgate, you can do it instantly with your hand. No carpet. The floor is a durable, washable composite that won't stain or hold odors. The traditional auto industry wants you to believe these are sacrifices. They're not. They're deliberate choices that eliminate failure points, reduce maintenance costs, and keep thousands of dollars in your pocket. What's truly revolutionary is what happens after your Slate truck arrives. Unlike traditional vehicles that depreciate the moment you drive off the lot, the Slate truck is designed to evolve. Its modular construction means you can upgrade components over time, potentially increasing its value rather than watching it plummet. This isn't just a new truck, it's a new paradigm for what a vehicle can be: honest, affordable, and built to serve your actual needs rather than a manufacturer's profit margins. The auto industry has been selling you a lie for decades. Customization means choosing between the overpriced packages we've pre-selected for you. The Slate truck shatters this model completely. Remember when you could actually work on your own vehicle? When you could modify it to suit your needs without voiding warranties or needing specialized computers? Slate is bringing that back with a vengeance. The most mind-blowing aspect of the Slate truck is its transformative capability. This isn't just a pickup, it's a platform. With the available bolt-on kits, you can convert your truck into a 5-seat SUV or a sleek fastback crossover in a single afternoon. No other vehicle on the market offers this level of versatility. Traditional automakers are terrified of this approach. Why? Because they want you to buy 3 different vehicles instead of one that can transform to meet your changing needs. The customization starts with the exterior. The Slate truck comes in one color, gray, but that's by design. The composite body panels are specifically engineered to be wrapped, and professionals can wrap the entire vehicle in just 30 minutes. Want a blue truck on Monday and a camouflage truck on Friday? No problem. Try doing that with your $70,000 Rivian. The front end features interchangeable daytime running light covers and badges. The wheels can be swapped with different covers. The bed can be configured with various dividers, racks, and storage solutions. All of these parts use standard hex keys. No proprietary tools or dealer visits required. Inside, the revolution continues. The base model comes with a smartphone mount instead of an infotainment system. Your phone already has better software, a better processor, and better apps than any automotive touchscreen. It updates automatically, never becomes obsolete, and you already own it. Want speakers? Add them. Want storage bins? Add them. Want different seat materials? Add them. The entire interior is designed around a rail system that allows for infinite configurations. They're called slatelets, small customizable tiles that slot into tracks throughout the cabin, allowing you to create a vehicle interior that actually reflects your needs rather than a designer's idea of what you should want. Here's how the customization program works. You order your accessories from Slate, and they'll arrange for a partner to install those accessories for you near your house and then ship the car to you. Or you can actually do it yourself. Most modifications require nothing more than basic tools and an afternoon of your time. The traditional auto industry has spent billions convincing you that vehicle customization should be expensive, complicated, and dealer-controlled. They've deliberately made modern vehicles nearly impossible to modify without specialized equipment. Why? Because every dollar you spend at the dealership service department is pure profit for them. Slate's approach is the exact opposite. They want you to modify your truck. They want you to make it yours. They want you to learn how your vehicle works and take pride in customizing it to your exact specifications. This isn't just about saving money, though you will save thousands compared to dealer-installed options. This is about reclaiming ownership of your vehicle in the most literal sense. The Slate truck isn't just a mode of transportation. It's a canvas for your creativity and a platform for your needs. The implications of the Slate truck extend far beyond a single vehicle. This is an existential threat to the entire automotive business model that's remained largely unchanged for a century. Tesla disrupted the industry by proving electric vehicles could be desirable. Slate is disrupting the industry by proving they can be affordable. And that's a much more dangerous proposition for traditional automakers. Consider the Ford Maverick, a compact hybrid pickup that starts around $25,000. It sells out instantly every year because there's massive demand for affordable trucks. Now, imagine what happens when consumers realize they can get a Slate truck for $5,000 less with more customization options and backed by Amazon's logistics network. The traditional dealer model is particularly vulnerable. Dealers make their real money not on new car sales, but on financing, service, parts, and used car sales. The Slate truck attacks all four profit centers simultaneously. Financing. Slate's lower price point means smaller loans and less interest revenue. Service. The simplified design with fewer failure points means fewer repair visits. Parts. The modular design and direct-to-consumer accessories eliminate the parts markup. Used cars. The upgradable nature of the Slate could keep it relevant longer, reducing trade-ins. For small businesses and fleet operators, the math becomes even more compelling. A fleet of 10 Slate trucks versus 10 traditional pickups could save a business over $300,000 in initial purchase costs alone, not counting the reduced maintenance and fuel expenses. Amazon's involvement creates another layer of disruption. Imagine ordering replacement parts with one-click shipping and next-day delivery. Imagine service technicians coming to your home rather than you going to a dealership. Imagine over-the-air updates that add features rather than just fixing bugs. The untapped market for practical, affordable EVs is enormous. While Tesla, Rivian, and traditional manufacturers fight over the luxury segment, they've completely ignored the vast middle of the market. People who simply need affordable, reliable transportation that happens to be electric. This is the same playbook Amazon used to dominate retail. While established players focused on high-margin products and services, Amazon built an empire by serving the massive middle market with efficiency and scale. Now they're applying that same strategy to vehicles. The auto industry has spent decades consolidating, reducing options, eliminating affordable models, and pushing consumers toward ever more expensive vehicles. They've created an artificial price floor that has no relation to actual production costs. The Slate truck doesn't just compete in this market, it exposes the entire charade. When consumers realize they've been systematically overcharged for decades, the market correction won't be gentle. It will be revolutionary. Let's address the inevitable criticisms head-on, because the automotive establishment is already sharpening their knives. It's too basic. Translation: we can't charge you for unnecessary features. The Slate truck is basic by design, not by limitation. It's the difference between a professional chef using a simple, high-quality knife versus an amateur with a drawer full of gadgets they never use. Simplicity isn't a weakness, it's clarity of purpose. Manual windows? No touchscreen? How primitive. This criticism reveals everything wrong with modern car design. When did we decide that power windows, which break regularly and cost hundreds to fix, were essential? When did we decide that touchscreens, which become obsolete in 3 to 5 years, were mandatory? These aren't advancements, they're planned obsolescence disguised as luxury. The range is too limited. For whom, exactly? The 150-mile base range covers 4 days of average American driving. The 240-mile extended range covers a week. Unless you're regularly driving cross-country without stopping, this is a manufactured concern. And with charging from 20 to 80% in under 30 minutes, even road trips are entirely feasible. It won't be comfortable. Comfort doesn't come from leather seats and ambient lighting. It comes from thoughtful design, proper ergonomics, and vehicles built to human scale. The Slate truck prioritizes functional comfort over marketing-driven luxury that adds cost without value. EV startups always fail. This isn't Lordstown Motors or Faraday Future. This is a company backed by one of the world's largest corporations with the most sophisticated logistics network ever created. Amazon doesn't make speculative bets. They disrupt industries systematically. They'll never hit that price point. This skepticism comes from people who don't understand how bloated automotive manufacturing has become. When you eliminate paint shops, reduce electronic complexity, simplify the supply chain, and cut out dealer networks, the savings are enormous. The $20,000 price isn't magic, it's math. People want features and luxury. Do they? Or have they simply never been offered a genuine alternative? The Ford Maverick, the most stripped-down truck on the market, sells out instantly every year. The waiting list for the base model is longer than for loaded versions. The market is screaming for affordable options, while the industry keeps pushing luxury. The most telling criticism will be the silence from traditional automakers. They won't attack the Slate truck directly, because doing so would admit it's a threat. Instead, they'll ignore it publicly while scrambling privately to figure out how someone managed to build an electric truck for less than half their production costs. That silence will tell you everything you need to know. The Slate truck isn't just a vehicle, it's the first shot in a revolution that will transform how we think about transportation. Imagine a future where vehicles are platforms, not products. Where your truck evolves with your needs rather than depreciating from the moment you drive it off the lot. Where upgrades are measured in capabilities added, not model years replaced. This is the beginning of the democratization of electric vehicles. While Tesla made EVs desirable for the wealthy, Slate is making them accessible for everyone else. The environmental impact alone is staggering. Replacing 150,000 gas-powered vehicles annually with affordable electric alternatives would reduce carbon emissions by millions of tons. The ripple effects throughout the industry will be profound. Traditional manufacturers will be forced to justify their pricing or lose market share. Dealer networks will need to provide actual value beyond being mandatory middlemen. The artificial separation between luxury and economy vehicles will be exposed as the marketing construct it always was. For consumers, the future looks brighter than it has in decades. The Slate approach could expand beyond trucks to sedans, vans, and other vehicle categories. The modular platform could spawn an ecosystem of third-party accessories and modifications, creating new businesses and jobs. Amazon's logistics network could transform vehicle service and maintenance. Imagine replacement parts arriving the day after you order them. Imagine mobile service technicians coming to your home or workplace. Imagine software updates that add features rather than just fixing bugs. The automotive industry has remained fundamentally unchanged for nearly a century. The same companies, the same distribution model, the same approach to planned obsolescence. They've had decades to innovate on affordability and accessibility, and they've chosen not to. Now, someone finally has, and there's no going back. The future of transportation isn't about who can add the most features or charge the highest prices. It's about who can deliver the most value at the lowest cost. And that future starts with the Slate truck. The Slate truck isn't just coming, it's already here, and you can be part of this revolution right now. For just a $50 deposit, you can reserve your place in line for delivery when production begins in late 2026. That's less than you probably spend on streaming services each month to secure your spot for the most disruptive vehicle in decades.